What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another SandStorm Meetup. Today, we are joined by the team over at Planet Rift. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for coming on.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Hey.
Yeah, how's it going? Thanks for inviting us.
Really appreciate you guys coming on the show, and I appreciate everyone taking time out of your day to watch the show. I'd like to start out with a little bit of introduction for people that are watching that might not know, I guess, about you guys personally. You know, tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into the Web3 space, and I guess what role you play on the Planet Rift team.
Right, so I'll just start with myself. So I'm the project manager over at Planet Rift. I basically run all the day-to-day operations and oversee the entire project. So yeah, that's my role. And basically got into Web3 just by the Sandbox, actually. First project ever that I touched within the Web3 space, and just passion from there, just stuck to it. So yeah, that's me. And today we also have two other members from our team. So we have Tyler, who go ahead and introduce himself, and also Shatil.
All right, yeah, my name is Tyler. I am the level designer for Planet Rift. Yeah, so daily I just make levels. I got into Web3 stuff. Well, I mean, I got kind of interested in like crypto stuff in general a couple years ago, and I started noticing a lot of movement on like the application side of things, and I saw things like Decentraland and so on. Then I was in the process of looking for a job, and I saw, oh, okay, this group is doing something with the Sandbox. I didn't know much about it at the time, and then I learned quite a bit in a short amount of time, and here I am now. So
awesome. Shatil?
Oh yeah, it's my turn. Well, I am the 3D generalist, graphic designer, and video editor of the Planet Rift. I am doing mostly social media stuff while others are working on the games. And I started in this team like 9 months ago at the beginning of this year, and before that I was never interested in Web3 stuff. I was just looking for like crypto stuff newly. I started playing Sandbox, and then I met with Sid in a hide and seek game, and I just told them that if they needed a graphic designer or something, I am open for work. And then yeah, it was just a lucky timing, I guess. Then we are here after 9 months.
Met in a hide and seek game. That's a great origin story.
Yeah.
And I
think
won,
that
like,
was the
I don't
first
know.
one. Yeah, he won as well.
So you
that's
guys,
how we hire people.
yeah, through hide and seek. Whoever wins.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. I think it was the first season of the Sandbox, and I think it was maybe the first or second hide and seek we hosted. And yeah, there came Shatil, the little star over there.
I was about to say, I don't know if that's how the hiring process goes, because if that were the case, then I would never be looked at, because I'd be at the last place.
So you guys primarily operate in Sandbox. Planet Rift is going to be a future Sandbox experience. What made you guys choose the Sandbox, I guess?
So actually, well, touching more on the origin story, I suppose. When we first came into the Sandbox, it was like pre-sale 3. So we actually came very, very early, at least 2 years ago now, that is. And honestly, we were just looking for new games. So actually, at that time, I was kind of just a general clan kind of guy. I ran my own clans back in the days with normal games on mobile and PC. And we were just kind of looking for the next opportunity for a game that was fresh and we could kind of just take over. We were a very competitive type clan. So me and Michael, my co-managing director, who's not here, unfortunately, but me and him were kind of just looking for new opportunities. And we kind of just stumbled upon the Sandbox. And from there, we kind of just slowly, as the project was developing, we kind of wanted to get involved in actually creating a game ourselves. And that's where everything kind of just shot off, and we joined the Game Maker Fund from there and just took it.
Nice. Yeah, because we'll get more into the experiences that you guys are making and have currently made. I do want to talk about Planet Rift because this is going to be a pretty big game. I mean, you guys have a 12 by 12 plot of land for this.
So that was the original idea when the game was first concepted. We wanted to build a 12 by 12 social hub. Obviously, with current limitations in the game maker and whatnot, that's not actually possible. We're
Yeah.
stuck to 4 by 4 at the moment. But, one day, hopefully, yeah, that is the goal. So we're aiming to eventually have a super huge open world, which the Sandbox will mostly provide for in terms of that land. And then, we're just planning to build the biggest MMORPG in the Sandbox.
Yep. And a lot of stuff does rely on Sandbox with, that is the problem with developing inside a game that isn't officially out itself. I guess you said you guys are wanting to make the biggest MMORPG in Sandbox. I guess what type of gameplay, for people that don't know what MMORPGs are, what are we going to be looking at when Planet Rift comes out?
Yeah, sure. For all the Rifters in the chat, I can see some already there, some big names. Those who don't already know, our whole setting is kind of sci-fi, and we have 3 key classes. So we have mercenaries, explorers, and scholars. And pretty much the idea is that when players first touch onto the game, they're going to choose one of those 3. And from there, they kind of just adventure into Planet Rift, which was intended to be the main social hub, which links onto every other experience that we intend to make. So actually, like on the screen right now, you can see that we have a little bit of cyberpunk in there and prehistoric.
Mhm.
That's just 2 of the themes that we began to build, and there's so many more down the line that we hope to make. And yeah, from there, the players are just supposed to kind of adventure out, play quests, play missions, gear up, earn money, put that money towards the planet itself or towards themselves, getting armor and upgrading their cosmetics and whatnot. And yeah, just kind of having fun with it. And then eventually down the line, our goal is to make the game as competitive as possible at the same time. So whether that's through making speedrun type trial missions or just having PvP down the line, that's kind of where we're heading towards.
Nice. And you mentioned that you were a pretty big gamer, and you were already part of clans on different mobile games and other games. Is there any type of inspiration that you took from other games to kind of put into your own?
Well, when we used to play mobile games, I was actually more of a critic, just because I didn't like the way things were run. In most games, obviously, you don't always get your own way with how the games eventually turn out to be, right?
Yeah.
So there's always the desire for wanting more, and that's kind of what we were so happy to come into the Sandbox, kind of have like our own freedom in controlling how the game runs and all of that kind of stuff. So I mean, as far as inspiration goes, we kind of just took inspiration from many games and genres. Not one specifically, to be honest. It's kind of more about just putting our personal experiences into a bit of passion and just putting that forward into what we can create in the Sandbox.
Nice. And I read that you guys plan on essentially launching, I guess, the map. It'll be like a barren, almost empty area. Is that what you guys still plan on doing?
So that was the initial idea. Right now we've kind of evolved it a little bit more, so that's not going to be the case. Just because I don't think if we rely on that idea for any longer, people may not be able to play Planet Rift. So actually, after season 3, just a little bit of future notice. The plan is actually to start moving towards Planet Rift itself. So hopefully within the near future, players will actually be able to experience Planet Rift at its very first look. And then from there, we're actually going to evolve the lore as well as the social hub itself. So players will still kind of go on this journey where the social hub is evolving, and the game itself is also then changing and evolving into different experiences and different looks of the social hub.
Yeah, because you said people would be able to play and earn different gear, items, and then also stuff to, I guess, build up the planet, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the initial idea was that as players would like also play general like adventures, like whichever theme or planet they want to go and adventure, they'd earn like coins and money like typically they do in MMORPGs, and then they'd be able to put that money towards buying their own gear or helping the planet itself evolve, because the whole idea of the game is colonizing planet Rift. It's
Yeah.
this infamous planet within the Riftverse which is essentially been uncolonizable, and so this is going to be the first civilization that hopefully makes that possible, but we'll see if the Rifters are up to that task or not.
Nice. And then, a lot of, I guess, MMORPGs that I've played, one of them that I kind of think about is Destiny a little bit. Is, there's different special events. I know, like, my friend, he won't talk to me for weeks once there's like a Destiny raid coming up. Do you guys plan on doing any type of special events, boss battles? Tell me a little bit about that.
Hell yeah, of course. So I think a lot of people must have seen that first NFT drop, which was with the dragons. One particular dragon in that collection was Fanaka the Fire Dragon. So he is actually the first boss that players will actually very, very soon be able to fight against, and just kind of experience within what we can do right now. So of course, we're going to have boss battles across every theme. So every theme has its own boss and its own story to adventure. And the first two of those are the cyberpunk and prehistoric themes, which players and the Sandbox community can actually explore very, very soon. So hopefully by next month, the first of those experiences will release, as well as the experience that is in Season 3 itself, which is Slum Escape.
Nice. And I know I haven't even played Season 3, so I don't know all the stuff that they added, but I did play Season 2, and I know, a lot of the games that are being built in the Sandbox aren't really, they're limited about what the Sandbox allows currently. I guess, when or how do you think that you'll be able to translate MMORPG mechanics, into the Sandbox?
Yeah, so obviously that's also been our biggest hurdle, just developing in the Sandbox in itself. And what we've kind of come to realize is we just have to break it down, because otherwise we'll be here, waiting 5 years maybe until everything is in place for us. And, by then it's kind of just too late and you don't really want to wait that long. So for us, we kind of just learned it's about breaking it down. So what we're planning to do is we're going to release things in batches of content, and eventually, maybe when the mechanics are available in the Sandbox itself, then we can put it all into one and just continue developing, because Planet Rift isn't really going to be one of those experiences anyway where you play it once and you're done. It's supposed to be an endless opportunity of adventure, and so there's no end as far as the content goes. So yeah, that's kind of been our look on things as of late.
Well, you just answered my next question, because I was going to ask, what's going to bring replayability to your game, but yeah, just updating content constantly and having those different live events and things like that will for sure bring people back. You guys are also going to make this a play to earn game. I guess I want to know how the economy in the game is going to work. Are you guys going to just work off of the Sand token, or do you guys plan on having your own type of token?
As it stands right now, it is mostly just going to be using Sand. And then until some later time when maybe things are more developed and we've kind of got a stronger foundation as far as gameplay goes, because our focus primarily right now is making sure there is a game to play, and then after that, a token can come. Of course, the main focus should always be, whenever making a game, that players can enjoy it and actually have fun, because otherwise, what's the point on them actually looking at a token or anything financial? It's just kind of just a scapegoat essentially. So yeah, and then yeah, the idea behind competitive. So I mean, Shatil can kind of talk a little bit about this. But as far as the plan goes, we have some play to earn events coming up in Season 3, and yeah, I'll let Shatil actually just talk a little bit about it.
About what exactly?
The trial missions, that is, the play to earn kind of stuff.
I don't know. I mean, all the experiences we built, all of them, or
just the ones that for Planet Rift, Planet Canberra, and Planet Cyber. That is, yeah.
Well, I honestly don't know too much about the play to earn things. I guess.
Okay, right. Yeah, no problem. So
I can yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Tyler, go ahead, sure.
Yeah, because
you are the level designer. You talk.
I was like, all right. Yeah, I mean, like the trial missions are essentially kind of like think of it in some sense as like going to an arcade and you're the person who's trying to get a high score, right? You go there and yeah, you might play it once, but then later on you're going to go in and then play it again and try to get faster and faster and faster, right? This is where we'll have like a lot of speed runs and stuff like that. So like we have the Canberra trial missions, which are in that environment, and will allow people to kind of try to speed run through it or try to collect as much stuff while they're in there. And then, currently we've been developing a couple of other things on like the Planet Rift side of things, where it's more platformy and things like that. So it's kind of pushed into a more competitive vein of things when it comes to level design.
And with this competitive and I guess kind of like a leaderboard system of who can, I guess, speed run the trial the fastest, is there going to be any type of, I guess, special rewards for whoever's at the top of that leaderboard, like I guess special gear or an item, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's actually what I was going to get Shatil to touch on. But basically, what it was we have a special armor set actually that is going to be revealed very, very soon. Shatil actually made the entire animation and video for it. And so actually next week, Monday or Tuesday, we'll be dropping that. So keep an eye on that. It will be a super exclusive armor set. Only 25 copies will be distributed through the trial missions. And the only way to earn it will be by actually earning first place in those trial missions. And it's essentially a super rare armor set. We're classifying it as an ultra rare, which isn't a rarity, which is actually in the sandbox, but
Yeah.
we're kind of just giving it the ultra rare status, and it will kind of be something that will be essentially historical when the game launches and the social hub launches. It will be put on a pretty big pedestal. So yeah, that is something that we're going to drop very, very soon, and from there you guys can kind of enjoy the aesthetics of it.
Yeah, I think that's to me that's something that is important in MMO games, is like just the flex of having that item that nobody has, and you see that guy walking around the hub, you're like, yo, dude, what? Like, this guy's got that. Like, I think that it is a really cool aspect where games like, I think Fortnite, they just put the items up where everyone can buy the same item. Everyone's Travis Scott, and then it's
Right.
not really exclusive. It's not cool. I like the aspect of having to do something to show that your skill level and you get something cool for it.
Yeah, of course. And also like with this armor set, with the if you're not necessarily getting first place, there's still other things to earn as well. So, for example, actually, what's on the screen right now, you can see some of the armor sets we made for the prehistoric theme. So for the prehistoric trial missions, if you come second, third, you can actually earn one of these armor sets, depending on which trial mission is being played.
Yeah.
And so there's still some things to earn, and hopefully we're trying to also get some sand rewards alongside that. So that'll be to be announced.
Yeah. And all these assets right here, do you guys make them in-house, or do you guys outsource to another, I guess, company to make them?
Everything is in-house. Shatil does all the rendering and graphics, so he's always the one making sure they look super clean when they come out on social media. That's kind of been like his main job as of late. And yeah, everything is made in-house. We have some like fantastic artists. Honestly, the best artists in the sandbox. Shout out to them, OP, Nicholas, and Solanas. And yeah, they make all the armor sets and animations for them.
Nice. And you guys met you met Shatil through a game of hide and seek. I was going to ask, how do you go about finding new builders? If there's any up and coming builders, like, I guess, where can someone apply to possibly join your team?
Oh, well, if it wasn't obvious enough, we play hide and seek with them, and if they're good enough, they become a part of the team. But no, right now, we're not really hiring right now, per se, but in the future, if that ever is the case, it will either be on our website, which is also being upgraded right now, and we'll also always share it on social media. So yeah.
Awesome. And I was going to ask, I couldn't really find a whole lot about the Syndicate Black Market. If you want to talk a little bit about that and what that's going to be.
Yeah, so the Syndicate Black Market is one of the next NFT drops that is coming up. So that NFT drop is actually going to be right alongside the Season 3 experience, Slum Escape. So basically, we have some armor sets. So actually, all the armor sets from the Cyberpunk theme will be involved in this NFT drop, alongside some other minor assets like accessories, and just some general world assets that we're just going to include with it as well.
And where will people be able to get this at?
So the set that's on the screen, that will be available on the Sandbox marketplace. We're looking at, I think it's going to be in October, mid to late October. That's when it will be available to buy. And there's actually another NFT drop that is coming up in about next week. So more news on that and the special armor set next week. So there's actually a lot. September to October is going to be very packed for Planet Rift. There'll be a lot of things dropping, and yeah, just keep an eye out on the social medias.
All right, so yeah, make sure you guys check out the Twitter, get in the Discord. So if you are wanting to know about all these drops, and that's where you're going to learn about them. That's where you're going to get the information first. And you mentioned that this was going to be part of your guys' Slum Escape experience, which is going to be in Alpha Season 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know Alpha Season 3 is out. Is Slum Escape already playable, or is it going to be playable soon?
So it will be playable soon. And yeah, so on the screen you can kind of see some teasers and the trailer actually, which we recently dropped on it. I'm curious to see how hard people find this level. Obviously, when you're developing an experience for the alpha, there's so much testing. We have to make sure that it's as super clean as possible and bug-free as possible. I'm just curious to see how the players of the Sandbox take on this level, because from what we've been told, the platforming is really hard. But I think Shatil, what did you think of it when you were playing the experience?
Well, I am already pretty good at platforming stuff and in general at Sandbox. So it wasn't so hard for me, but I guess they want the platforming to be a lot more easier so everyone can enjoy, the hundreds of people are playing the Season 3. So I hope it will not be too hard for them. But actually, if it's too hard, it's even better. They are going to compete for the first place anyways.
So they wanted you guys to make it more of, I guess, an easier platforming game for people.
Yeah, I think the consensus that they've kind of come to with the alphas is that they want it to be so that players can earn the points and like complete the quests as easily as possible.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you're trying to make a competitive environment, easy isn't always the answer, right? You have to have some kind of challenge. And so that's kind of where we had a little bit of a struggle with balancing it so that it's not too easy and it's not too hard. But I think we've met a fine middle ground. As I think so, at least. Maybe Tyler disagrees with some of his levels. But yeah, I think hopefully we're getting there. And we'll kind of see how it goes, because Season 3 experience is perhaps the easiest. So this is actually the easiest level of all of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler. This is perhaps the easiest level out of all the 6 that we've made, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, okay, so on our team, I'm pretty notorious for being the worst at platforming. And so like our other level designer is the one who designed this one. So like the thing is, people will probably find this one the easiest of his particular bit. But yeah, like when it comes to his other levels, they should be very ready because they're much harder.
Yeah, me personally, from all the platformings games that I've played in the Sandbox, I think they need to update the mechanics of like the jumping and movement. Like, to me, the movement just feels a little off sometimes, which they are still in alpha, so I can understand that. But there's like times where I'm like, dude, I didn't even move over the ledge. Why is my guy doing that?
Yeah,
you didn't play Season 3, right?
I haven't played Season 3 yet.
Yeah, so they've updated the mechanics for the jumping and things like that. Some of it's better, some of it's worse. I mean, like, I feel like there's a lot more consistency involved now. So when actually landing on platforms, like, there's a much higher level of consistency, but one of the drawbacks has been like jumping.
Yeah.
Like jumping itself is like it's really tricky because sometimes if you hit spacebar, it just doesn't even jump right now. So it's kind of a weird progress to regress. I don't know how to. It's like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back in some sense. Then other sense it's like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll get it figured out. So Slum Escape is going to be primarily, you start on a lower level and you're climbing up to try to get to the top. And I'm assuming once you get to the top, that's you've completed the experience.
Yeah, that would be correct. So the other thing that we're trying to also just include as much as possible is just a bit of lore. So the players can kind of learn about these planets, because as they've probably already seen on our like social media, we've kind of just talked about how Planet Cyber is this depressing, super glum world planet to live on.
Mhm.
And they perhaps don't really know why. So that's something they'll kind of get a touch on. And then the same will kind of go with the first prehistoric trial mission. They'll learn a little bit about the history of the planet, whilst also trying not to die by like huge bosses attacking them. So yeah, that'll be fun. And yeah, of course, there's also then the competitive element, which will launch in sync with the experiences.
Nice. And how will this tie into Planet Rift? Will this be like one of those portals you were talking about from the main social hub?
Yeah, in a sense, I guess you could say it's like that. So these planets per se, prehistoric and the cyberpunk ones, are kind of like an epilogue to what Planet Rift is going to be. So that's why these experiences are coming first, and then we'll have the Planet Rift Social Hub. And when the Planet Rift Social Hub comes, we'll be really like crashing hard on the lore, because I think Tyler especially, like he's been very vocal about this within the team. It's like we have to have a story so that the players and so that even the team can kind of relate to Planet Rift and actually stick to something consistent, because we kind of had like we wanted to go crazy in the start. We wanted this big MMORPG. We just wanted endless amounts of adventure, but there wasn't like a middle ground story that it all relates to and all like drawbacks on. And so that's what we've been working really hard on recently, and it's getting there. I'm actually very like excited about the progress that we're making on that, but unfortunately that's not something the public will see until a little bit later. But yeah, that's kind of what we're working on right now, and hopefully then we'll be able to share it.
Yeah. And then after the alpha season 3, you guys, I guess you mentioned there was like 6 total levels you guys have already been working on for Slum Escape.
So we have 3 cyberpunk trial missions and we have 3 prehistoric trial missions.
Okay.
What will happen is we'll kind of be running our own season alongside the season 3 of the Sandbox. So this is a bit of early information. We're actually like formally announcing it next week, but we might as well just tell you guys right here while we're at it, right?
A little alpha on stream.
Yeah, a little bit of alpha on stream. So yeah, as I said, there'll be 6 in total, basically. Then one will obviously be in the Sandbox season 3 itself, and then the other 5 will be released through the Game Maker's Draft Gallery. So I believe, I think, I'm not sure how many people are actually aware of this, but extra beans, there's an update to the Game Maker coming, and that's where we've obviously been developing the season 3 experience on, right, with the changes to the jumping and all of that kind of stuff. So that bean is also coming. I think it should either be out now or should be within the next week or so at the latest, and on that version of the Game Maker we'll be releasing the season 3 our season 3 experiences addition to Slum Escape.
Yeah. And then do you guys also plan to make Slum Escape a play to earn game as well, or can people earn exclusive loot from playing it?
Yeah, so the Slum Escape will also be a part of the whole competitive loop. It may last a bit shorter than the other trial missions just because of the fact that it's being published in the Sandbox season 3. And I think with the time it's been scheduled, it may last like 4 to 5 days shorter. But it's the easiest trial mission at the same time, so it's not too big of a deal. And then all the other trial missions will last 2 weeks at a time. And yeah, it's a go button from there.
Nice. And as a team that works in the sandbox, like I said, I haven't even played season 3, so I don't know what all the new stuff is. I guess what are
your expert is Shatil. He knows everything.
What are some things that you guys I guess are hoping for, I guess, in the next Sandbox alpha, stuff that they didn't add in season 3 that you hope they add in the next season?
Oh, we have a lot of opinions on that one.
Yeah. I guess we can start with Shatil.
Well, I am not building anything in the game maker, so I can just say as a player perspective, definitely they need to fix the jumping and the stairs. You are just glitching everywhere, just climbing stairs.
Yep.
So I guess last season was better. I don't know. Like, I guess they fixed one thing and broke other thing, I guess. But other than that, it's been just 3 days, so we'll see how it goes in the other experiences.
I can at least say from my perspective, like one of the biggest things I would like to see is just like optimizations on like the actual hardware end of things, because right now like the game maker utilizes so much of like your system's CPU, which is very odd for a video game. Because I mean, like it hardly even utilizes the GPU at this point, and I really hope that is something that's solved, because that's actually been like when we are talking about like kind of breaking things down to kind of smaller chunks, this was one of the key reasons, is because when we started building out on larger LAN pieces, it was just like nobody's computer could run it. Which is again odd. So like from my perspective, like just building in the game maker, that's one of the big things I really hope that they kind of fix. And like Shatil said, like the mechanics of things like going upstairs, like it's kind of hard to say, because like the stairs aren't necessarily a problem. It's just the fact that we can't make our own collisions. Like all the collisions are based upon the voxels, and if we had the chance to actually build in our own collisions, that would probably alleviate a lot of that problem. So like if you worked in Vox Edit and then you just create a basic like collider, that would probably alleviate some of those like really basic things.
As far as I can say, so yeah, I think Tyler and Shatil's points are obviously kind of very immediate, and Tyler's one is perhaps the biggest like solution as far as like long-term development goes. For me personally, I just kind of like to see us progress much more heavily with the game maker before we have another season. Mostly just so that we can really get going with the mechanics of the game maker, because we've kind of been stuck with kind of the old mechanics for a while now, and we're just about getting to essentially recovering some of the old mechanics, even like for example presets. That's finally come back, and that's huge news as well. So we're really happy about that, obviously. But I think before the next season happens, I think we need the game maker to really progress mechanics. So like whatever features that may be, whether it's swimming or whether it's like co-building and just being able to build on larger lands, whatever it may be, we just need the time to get those features into the game maker, and then allow creators to actually build out levels that really make use of those features. And then when the next season comes around, even if it is like 3-4 months later, that season will just be infinitely better than kind of replaying the same kind of collect fight type missions. And yeah, I think it would just be a bit more enjoyable as far as the gameplay goes.
And I guess you guys I guess work alongside with Sandbox being a part of season 3. Is the team over there very responsive? I guess if you guys have questions, concerns, do you send any of this input their way, and are they like, received, or do they just tell you guys like, we're going to do what we're going to do and that's it?
To be honest, the Sandbox is probably one of the better companies or platforms than any that I've personally experienced as far as communication goes. Like I can't knock Sebastian or the Sandbox itself when it comes to communication. They're very open-minded. They're very receptive to any feedback. I think it's just been the huge upscaling that's kind of obviously had its impact on the Sandbox development itself, right? So obviously they're adjusting. They're making ways so that the metaverse can go live, and all these big things that they have in mind, and
Yeah.
obviously other things kind of just slow down as a result of that. But I think they're stabilizing, and they're starting to get ready so that the metaverse can go live. And yeah, as far as feedback and everything goes, I can't complain. They're very open to it, and they receive it as much as they can. I mean, we have like almost a weekly meeting with project managers at the Game Maker Fund, and any feedback and any bugs, and everything is always one-to-one kind of communicate. So absolutely like zero flaws as far as communication from creator to Game Maker Fund goes.
Nice. And House of Proto had a question about Slum Escape. He wanted to know how many quests there will be. I guess I'm assuming he's talking about the Alpha Season 3 version.
Slum Escape, I think it has about 6 quests. I think 2 are collecting ones, 2 are like fighting kind of ones, and one's like a music type quest, and the other is just basically reaching to the end. So yeah, that's about
there's
6
like
quests.
There's a central quest that is like point A to point B, and then the rest are basically like side missions.
But it's also like an open world, so it's a smaller open world. So as well as there being quests, there's a bit of like area to explore, kind of just see what the world looks like, and how just getting a feel of the actual world itself, because this is the first time players are actually going to be able to experience Planet Cyber, which is obviously the cyberpunk theme. So it's also a bit of like getting to grounds with that, and the quests are kind of just like a bonus, really, as well as the story.
Yeah. And did they add proximity chat in Season 3 or no?
Shatil, you're gonna have to answer that one for me.
I didn't notice. I don't know.
Okay,
I haven't been able to get in.
Yeah, there's not people. There's not people talking. I feel like they probably add that like later. I guess once the Sandbox is more ready to launch. But that's something that I'm for sure looking for, is for them to add some type of proximity check. Because I don't like getting in there and typing. I would rather just be able to talk and
Right,
communicate.
yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, 100%. I think being like, for those who don't know, I've always also been a moderator at the Sandbox. So like one of the key things that was like feedback in season 1 and 2 was just moderation tools. Obviously you have some bad sports that join into the seasons, and they do their stupid things, and it kind of ruins the fun for others. So I think maybe what the Sandbox is waiting for is some more moderation tools to kind of properly be implemented, and then I think proximity chat is a go for sure.
Yeah, that is true, because you definitely need an ability to ban people in case someone gets in there and
exactly
starts
being toxic.
Yeah, speaking off the wall crazy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, we have our own Planet Rift events normally during these seasons, so we normally host like hide and seek or any other mini games that we can kind of come up with and have fun with the community in social hubs. And so like what we just tend to do is just get in a big voice chat. We'll have streams open so the seeker's screen is always visible to the people who are hiding, and yeah, we kind of just do it like that, and that way we kind of get the proximity chat without the proximity chat. So yeah, that's kind of how we've gone about it.
Nice. And if people were wanting to get involved in that and do that would be found in your Discord?
Yeah, so I'll quickly grab a link to our Discord. We're also going to be hosting some events this season, as we've done in the past, except this time we will have some NFT rewards as well. So because we've obviously been minting these NFT drops, we've actually finally got our own armor sets and accessories that we can now distribute as rewards, in addition to perhaps sand. So I'll drop the link, and next week we'll be announcing, we'll kind of do weekly schedules as the season goes along. It's a 10-week long season.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one, so we're going to pace it week by week, and yeah, we'll just kind of go from there.
That was a perfect segue into my next question because I did want to talk about your guys' own collection of assets. We saw the dragon and some of the different characters that are going to be implemented in your game. What are some assets that people can just buy directly from you guys and use, I guess, in their own sandbox experiences?
Yeah, so we have the armor sets as we try to include as much as possible. I think those are perhaps the most popular things right now, as well as avatars, of course. And then we're also so every theme has a boss, a final boss. So Fanaka was the first one. He's obviously been released and sold. And then we also have the Cyberpunk final boss, which is actually sooner than you guys think, and it's actually before the season 3 NFT drops. So that's coming as well. And of course, we try to include a couple of world assets because one of the things that we want to do down the line, very, very far into the future, is as we're working on all these worlds, we want possibly creators to actually be able to use our own assets and use like our huge inventory of assets and create their own worlds and integrate it with Planet Rift. So that's something hopefully down the line that will also come to fruition. And we're slowly, bit by bit, going to be releasing these NFT drops, and people can go ahead and buy it out.
Nice. And you guys aren't only just creating experiences, for Planet Rift. You guys do also outsource. I think I saw on your Twitter, I think your pinned tweet is where someone can go and fill out an application for you guys to come and develop on their land or make them assets for an experience that they're building.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So one of the newer things that we've finally opened up to is hiring our studio as builders. So like on the screen, you can see right now, this was like a quick test level that we made no longer than a week. And you can obviously fill in the form, or you can contact us directly by Twitter, DMs, or email. And then we can set up whatever collaboration ideas you guys may have in mind, or any worlds that you perhaps want built out, and we can build it. Because if you've seen the quality of our worlds like Planet Cyber and Planet Canberra, you can obviously tell our team is super, like probably second to none as far as the Sandbox community goes. So we're happy to build, and we're capable of building absolutely anything. So feel free to hit our applications for Creative for Hire.
Have you guys built any other lands for any other projects so far?
No, we haven't actually. This is a very recent endeavor that we've just opened up to recently. And we're also working with the Sandbox and possibly working with some IPs at the moment. So lots of things going on at once right now. But at the moment, we haven't built for anyone just yet, except for ourselves.
Nice. Yeah, I think, with how much land there is out on Sandbox, and just once Sandbox becomes more open for everyone, there's going to be a lot of brands coming in that have no idea how to build in the Sandbox or where to find people. And I think, something like that is going to be huge for the people that have been here building, and they can see and be like, all right, I want that. And next thing you know, you're building Disney.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait for like the Sandbox to actually open up. I think we're actually not too far away from that finally happening. I don't know whether that's going to be like every land is available at once kind of thing, or if they're planning to release in batches. I don't know that, but I know for a fact that very, very soon, probably not too long after season 3, slowly the metaverse is going to start opening up, and everyone can finally get in on the metaverse that we've been waiting for. So this is going to be very exciting for sure.
Yeah, that would be cool. And with you guys have these experiences we talked about today, what experiences do you guys have coming in the future? If there's any alpha leaks you can drop, or have you guys not thought about what's coming next so far, because you want to focus on Planet Rift?
Sorry, would you mind repeating the question?
What what other experiences do you guys have planned coming in the future?
Oh, right. Yeah. So as we mentioned, there's the 2 themes that we're dropping within season 3 and after season 3. And then after that will actually be Planet Rift itself as a theme or playable experience. And of course, if we have any collaboration works with any other IPs or any other brands, then of course that is also up for grabs.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. I really do appreciate you guys coming on. I think someone said that it was like 1 a.m. where they're at. So I'll we'll wrap it up. Anyone watching the stream, you guys want to get all the knowledge about Planet Rift, make sure you guys join the Discord, follow on Twitter, get in those hide and seek games, join the community. Sounds like they're doing a lot of fun stuff over there. And yeah, thank you guys very much for coming on today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us.
Everyone watching, thank you. Have a great weekend. We will be live again on Monday at the same time, and we'll see you then.
All right, see you guys.
Take it easy.